one of the biggest questions I get at the moment is USB pass-through. So I may say something controversial here, which is...
And we tried to do that with USB pass-through, and we could not get it to work. USB, like...
Too many failures, too many disconnects.
Yeah.
Is there a technical reason for this, or is... You don't want to speak badly about the people? This is really exciting here with Hannu, Simucube CEO. You have brought, let's be honest, some of the most, maybe, let's just say the most exciting products in sim racing, active pedal, and everyone is talking about the Simucube 3.
Yeah.
However, I don't understand some of the stuff about like the pass-through QR, so I thought I'd just come and ask you straight up.
Excellent.
The first thing I want to say is, the pricing is really interesting between the Pro, the Sport, and the Ultimate.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are saying, I need to get the Ultimate.
Yeah.
This equipment is already expensive. They want to get the best of the best.
Yeah.
But do you anticipate between the Pro and the Sport, are people choosing the Sport or just saying, for a couple of €100 more, I may as well get the Pro kind of thing?
Yeah, the Pro is the best-selling model, so we are quite happy with that. And I think it is maybe the best value, I would say. So, but obviously, there's a lot of people who just don't like. They just want the best. And in racing, when you have that like
when you're
mindset,
second by that much.
Yeah, so you really cannot afford to have the second best hardware, you know.
So going from Simucube 2 to Simucube 3, Simucube 2 has been out for such a long time. It's been like a benchmark. I think a lot of other brands have tried to meet the Simucube 3, and they're still trying to meet it, and then you come out with Simucube 3. Yeah. What was your philosophy? What did you want to do different with Simucube 3? What was important to you?
Yeah, I mean, Simucube is a company that we don't do products just for fun, so we don't do like a new phone every year. We just when we do a new version, it needs to be significantly better. Yeah. And it's, like you said, Simucube 2 was the best wheelbase so far, so it's hard to, because obviously everyone, like we have so high expectations from the new product, so it took a long time to get it right. So we did a lot of motor research, like develop the motor, especially for the Ultimate. Yeah. So that's why we can develop it at the same time. So it's coming out next year. So those are the things that make it different. Obviously, one big thing that we improved is the software. Yeah. So now we have the Simucube Link in the wheelbase. So that's a big thing. With that comes the QR too. So that's better than Simucube 2. But with the software, we are very happy how we can help the whole sim racing grow and move into like another technology level and fixing a lot of the things that are like issues nowadays. So
let's get on to that in just a moment because it's really important.
Yeah.
But again, on the wheelbase, like what have been the generational leaps you can explain to people? Is it smoothness? Is it sustained delivery? What's the generational kind of difference with the Simucube 3? Yeah. You explain to people because I know a lot of people are thinking, should I get a Simucube 2 or should I get a Simucube 3? So yeah. What's kind of the differences they'll experience? Yeah,
there are differences. Simucube 3, it has better feeling. The motor is better. The motor control is redesigned. So, and that is what we do, like where we're good at. So the servo motor control is again different. You can even hear it. The Simucube 3 is much more. It's more silent than Simucube 2. So
a little bit of chattering, right?
Yeah. So, and we also introduced a lot of new things in the how the firmware and the hardware work together, basically. So we have like we calibrate every single wheelbase and we do it all over again. So it's like they are much more consistent now with each other. Yeah. So it was very good with Simucube 2, but with Simucube 3 it's like perfect basically.
Yeah. I mean, I've been driving it, I can notice the difference. I have a Simucube 2 Pro at home and I use it as normally my default wheelbase to test other rims and things like that. I did a blind test with the Simucube 2 Pro and the SimLab direct drive wheelbase a few months ago, and I was trying to understand differences. And one thing, that test was set up by SimLab, so let's just, they set it up, so I cannot say it's completely even. I don't know. But one thing I noticed with Simucube 2 Pro is I felt kind of like a haptic-y sensation when I'm running on curbs. I felt like I could feel like this kind of I don't know if that's something that comes from the motor, it's something that a 2-pass filter. But I was like, I quite like this haptic-y sensation. but it feels something controversial to say whether I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I felt like this kind of like, I can feel a little bit immersed when I'm running on an entry curve, then I turn in, I get the load, and then I run on the exit curve and I kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Is that something you notice at all, or is that, because coming from having to do a blind test, I was thinking, what are the differences there?
Yeah, it's very good that you did that. I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways how you can set up a wheelbase too, and it's like a lot of the personal preferences, how you configure it, what you like. So yeah, with the new software, we introduced even more adjustments.
Yeah.
But I think the one key thing is that now we have, you can get away with just two. You have the force, how the Newton meters, and then you have this like how the feeling sort of.
Okay, so maybe that
it groups a lot
is that a filter to upload a dynamic filter, or?
Well, sort of, yeah. So you can change that however you want, how aggressive it feels. So you only have two like adjustments.
Not all these other ones. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you have them, but you don't need to use them. So I think that's a big usability improvement also.
So let's get fully onto Simucube 3 and like the ecosystem and partnering with so many amazing companies like Asher and Delta and Bavarian. And I think you just talked about bringing the community.
Yeah.
So again, what was your philosophy there in like working with these companies and bringing them like into the Simucube like family almost, it feels like, or something like that?
Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, what has bothered us quite a long is the fact that there's a lot of technical debt in sim racing, because sim racing as a market is quite young.
Technical debt?
Yeah, debt, yeah. So there's a lot of weird or non-optimal solutions in technical wise. If you think of, for example, the USB wheels, they have often USB hub inside, and then you have the screen, and then you stream your video, 300
Lots
megabytes
of
per
bits
second.
to go through.
Yeah, and then if you try to do it through slip ring, then it's like. So that's one goal, was to improve the technology and just make it so reliable as we can. And second target was to improve the interface between the games and the hardware, because right now you have direct in, but it ruins the signal, and then you have telemetry things which you try to kind of fix it a little bit, and then you have some delays there, and so we have talked a lot with the game developers too, so that we can actually make that interface better than what it is now. And then we have the usability. We have one software to rule them all. We invite everyone. Bavarian also already did their like plugin inside our software. So now they have their own software that works inside our software. And for customer, it means that you have only one software where you adjust everything. That is huge, because then if you buy, you have three wheels. You have Simucube wheel, Bavarian, GSI, someone. It's same software.
Same button.
Same, but you can configure the buttons. The software looks similar. It's not the same. The hardware manufacturers still have the control to their own software inside our software. So we are not taking the code from them. But we can synchronize the terminology. So you have the same terms for stuff and everything. So there's big potential in that. And so we are taking a technical leap from old stuff to like pro level stuff. We are bringing the pro level simulators to home. That's what we are trying to do.
I would say a technical leap, but also a technical lead as well.
So someone has to do it. Why not?
Well, okay, so I may say something controversial here, which is, are Simucube the Apple of sim racing? I saw the keynote. I feel like I can ask that question because I saw the keynote. That has connotations in terms of control, but also we're going to make it as easy as possible for the user. It's going to be the best possible experience, but maybe you can't use all these different ways. So, you talked about, if I say that statement, is Simucube now the Apple of sim racing, how does that make you feel?
Well, we are like half Apple and half Android. So what good thing about Apple is that they are very reliable and very solid, because they control the whole thing and they can just decide how it works. So we are doing that up to a level. So right now we have done the platform, the first version of that. We have the wheelbase and we have the light bridge, and now we have the wheels. Next up we will bring in passive pedals. We are not probably going to do a passive brake. They are great passive pedals, we do active pedals. So we can just integrate in Simucube Link. We are again here today. We have been having discussions with those manufacturers. So our idea is try to combine the best from both worlds. So have the Apple reliability and the ease of use, because we need to prepare how sim racing looks 5 years from this point. You need that. Like, it needs to be easier to use. Right now, it's not easy to use. It's not good enough. So then we have the open Android or openness of Android. So we invite all the manufacturers in. We will invite the DIY people in too. We only first need to, because we have just started the ecosystem, so we need to get to a level where we can make sure that it works. We started with the wheelbase and wheels. We will give them the wheel module. We will sell it to consumers. Anyone can make their own wheel and get the world's best software already. So it shows up in our software, which is used for the DIY community as well. So this is a journey. We have started. We are opening up it piece by piece whenever we can. So
I congratulate you on doing it. I think it's brave. I think it feels like it's the right thing to do because you want to lead on these things, right? Like we see you coming out with active pedals. Other companies may copy it. I don't know. Like we see with the Simucube 2 Pro, other companies see it and are following. It's fair to say, I think. So it's brave. I think there will be a bit of politics from other companies who maybe feel they're not included. But it sounds like what you're saying is that you want to lead on this, and it's, you know, people can use, you know, get the benefit of your software, etc. if they're part of that ecosystem. One of the biggest questions I get at the moment is USB pass-through. Now, to me, I don't fully understand it because I also don't mind using cables because I like the vibe of it. But it feels like back in the day with Apple, you have to use a lightning cable or something. Is there a technical reason for this, or what's your response to people saying USB pass-through?
Well, like I mentioned, we are moving from a technology onto another, and pretty much always, whatever it is, like audio or video, or like when you move to pro level, you cannot use USB. It's not reliable. And that is what's happening in sim racing now. We are moving to pro level and we are bringing it to home.
Bespoke, non-USB, proprietary bespoke.
Simucube makes products so that they are top performance, top reliability, and top ease of use. And we tried to do that with USB pass-through, and we could not get it to work. USB, like,
too many failures, too many disconnects.
And you can't.
You don't want to speak badly about the people still doing it.
And you can try to do it, and it's fine. But we didn't find a way how we could sleep our nights, knowing that this will last 20 years.
So do you have a message for people who are like, oh, well, my wheel is not going to work through the pass-through? Is it like, this is for long term? Like, there's nothing wrong with your wheel right now. I don't know if this is like 5 years in the future, then we want, is that kind of, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but do you understand?
But I mean, we are not taking anything away. Your wheel still works with the USB cable. If you want to buy a new wheel, you can consider if you want to buy a Simucube Link compatible wheel. And so, I mean,
I personally don't hate me in the comments, but I personally don't get all the like stuff about it because I like the cable anyway. I'm a bit weirdo. I need to talk about active pedals. Last year I was saying these are by far the best thing in sim racing. I still think these are by far the best thing in sim racing. Are you surprised that there isn't much competition in that space? Or do you know with the development you did that these are incredible products that took a long time to R&D, and that's why you have this advantage, this space, this you are clear in this area in sim racing?
I mean, active pedals are hard. Wheelbases are much easier to develop than active pedals. So I think that's probably the reason why we don't see many of those. But however, we are not like happy yet. We have new things. We are like pushing. We are like there's more innovation in active pedals as well coming up.
And just on those active pedals, a lot of companies release high-end pedals, and they say, oh, they're not active because that's a gimmick. Now, my perspective is I don't think it's a gimmick. At least for accessibility and adjustability, right? And then also potentially for performance with the ABS. But what's your view on people say, oh, active pedals must be a gimmick, like haptics. What do you say to them?
I don't know. I haven't heard that, but okay. I think the main point. Yeah, it's like it depends what kind of a sim racer you are. If you are like esports, or you want to maximize the time, the lap time, or minimize the lap time. Okay. You know what I mean. So at that point, you may like appreciate more the consistency. Yeah. It does not wear out. Yeah. It's always the same. Unlike passive pedals that tend to, the rubber and everything, they wear out and you need to replace them, and then it's again a different pedal when you replace. Yes. You need to again learn how.
As many things consistent.
Yes, and then obviously adjustability and the ease of use, how it is just to adjust the pedal with the software. Then for some sim racers may prefer the immersion, and they love the effects that we can push through. Some people who are focusing on learning how to drive, they may affect that. Like, they may appreciate the fact that you can put a small notch on the 80% when you brake and stuff like that. So you get that muscle memory, and we know some GT drivers who actually have a rig that just has the active pedal, and they just brake.
Oh, okay, that's it. They're just learning.
Yeah. You only brake. The brake profile, especially GT cars, it's the most important thing I've been told. So,
I don't know if I said to you, but whenever I interview the racing drivers, they always talk about the active pedals because they know that they can do for different type of cars. Yeah. Especially if you have drivers doing, say, Formula E, but then they do GT. You need to practice both. But I'll come back to that with a final question. But I would say my honest opinion is that anyone who's saying active pedals are gimmicks is from companies that can't quite do active pedals. I think it's a reality because they're difficult to do. But that's what I would say. But in terms of Simucube going forwards, in terms of new product lines, are we going to see Simucube any kind of options in the product range that are a bit cheaper in price, or you don't need to? You want to maintain that premium?
I mean, what drives us is improving stuff, doing new innovation, pushing the boundaries, how we can make the whole sim racing better. Yeah. So we want to focus on that. Half of our company is engineers, and we need that innovation, and we want to push it. Yeah. So that's what we want to do.
Okay, well there we go. And then my final thing I want to say is, it's interesting to hear about the Formula drivers practicing. Yeah. Something I think would be amazing is like a party mode on the pedals. So you can just have them moving in the background, especially for streamers like myself. It's kind of cool. So that's my little thing. It'll be kind of cool to see them just moving. Yeah. If you've got solar panels, it's not wasting energy as well, but that would be my thing. But yeah, Hannu, honestly, one of the most important people in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not me, it's our people who are doing this stuff. And also our community, very important piece.
And your partners.
Yeah, and a lot of many partners.
Yeah, but you can say that, but I can say, I think one of the most important people in the industry, and I appreciate what you're trying to do to push the industry forward away from this technical debt, as you called it. And it's going to be a bit difficult with messaging, we all know, but I can see the vision you have, so I respect that. Thank you so much.